Have you ever wondered what the process is for hosting a foreign exchange student? How much it costs? What to do if there's a problem? And why would someone invite a stranger to live with them? Hi, I'm Nick Crosby, student at New Foundational High School, here with Barbara Rosendahl, host mom and local coordinator for CCI Greenheart, and former foreign exchange student Fabio Aguirre from Brazil. So Barbara, who can host a foreign exchange student and how much does it cost?
Well, the host family is responsible for providing a bed, 3 meals a day, transportation to and from, school events, and most importantly, a loving and supportive environment. The students bring their own spending money and they have medical insurance. So beyond basically having someone in a house with you, there's no other expenses. As far as who can host, it's pretty wide open. There's a list here, which we'll post later as well. But it's families with young children, families with no children, single parents, retired couples, single people with prior approval, and the student's natural parents' approval, same-sex couples with prior approval, and the student's natural parents. And anyone over the age of 26, if they're a married couple, at least one individual has to be 26 and the other couple must be at least 21 years old.
So, how does someone go about hosting a foreign exchange student?
Well, many potential host families want to get to the fun part of picking out their new family member. They want to do that right away. However, in order for it to be a successful year, the host family really needs to do their research and choose the right exchange organization. Just like any service, you need to find a reputable organization which will support you through the entire experience, starting with helping you choose the right student for your family and be there to help with any questions which might arise in preparation for their stay and even during the year. This step is critical to a successful year. There are literally hundreds of foreign exchange student organizations out there, but very few actually offer the necessary level of support for a successful and fun experience.
How does a potential host family find a reputable foreign exchange student program?
They should start by looking for an organization listed with the Council on Standards for International Educational Travel. And we'll share a website link as well. Any organization listed on this site has met their rigorous standards of integrity to the cultural exchange experience. This site will help you find a reputable program in your area.
So once a reputable program has been identified, what's next?
The potential host family reaches out to have a local coordinator assigned to them. The local coordinator will help with any questions on the host family application and to find a student who matches the host family's interests. The local coordinator will help prepare the host family for the new arrival, as well as provide the student orientation once they're here, and organize activities for the student during the year that they're here, or during their stay. In addition, if any questions come up during the year, the local coordinator will be there to help guide the family, the school, and the student.
Now, you have been chosen to be a local coordinator with CCI Greenheart. Why?
I love CCI Greenheart. This is the only organization that, in addition to the foreign exchange student experience, also embraces helping the local community and environment. That's how their name came to be. Center for Cultural Interchange, green for the environment and heart for the community. So now that sounds like a lot of information, and it is. It's been, I've been with CCI Greenheart for 5 years, and I've hosted 4 foreign exchange students, and feel like I'm just getting started with all that they have to offer our communities. For example, we require our students to do volunteer hours in the local community, and CCI Greenheart even provides some funding for community or environmental projects. This creates the groundwork opportunity for a full circle experience for the student, family, school, and community. A win-win for all that are involved.
Are there different lengths of time that a foreign exchange student can stay?
Yeah, actually we have a lot of choices. There's, the big overview picture is a student can stay anywhere from 2 weeks to the full school year. Now let me break that down a bit. There's something called the Independent Homestay Program, and that's a program where both teens and adults can come and stay with a family. and that's anywhere from 2 to 8 weeks, and they come with specific requests. One might be a foreign language buddy, where they'll come and stay with you and teach you their language for 5 hours a week. Another would be to volunteer in the local community. And others just want to come and have fun and see our area and meet the different, get the feel of the American culture. So anyways, that's called Independent Homestay Program. Then there's the traditional foreign exchange students, and they come from all over the world, and they stay for either 1 or 2 school semesters. Those traditional foreign exchange students have paid a lot of money to come and stay with us, and they come again with their own spending money, their own medical insurance, and they're here to improve their English, enjoy the American culture, and share their culture with us. Then we get into the grant programs. The first one is called FLEX, and that stands for Future Leaders Exchange. And these are grant students from former nations of the Soviet Union. These kids are here on a U.S. grant scholarship. The same for the YES students, which is the Youth Exchange and Study Program. And these are grant students here from predominantly Muslim countries. Both grant programs are paid for by the U.S. government and involve a very rigorous application process. Last year, only 1 in 50 of those applicants was accepted and won the grant to come here. The grant students come here with the primary purpose of sharing their culture, and they are acting as an ambassador for their native country while they're here. They come, they share their culture through various presentations, and then they go back home and they share their American experience there. It's the true nature of the exchange program. In addition to that, CCI Greenheart does offer other comprehensive opportunities for American teens and adults to volunteer, work, and attend school abroad.
So is there a good time of year to get started?
Yeah, the host families really should be thinking about it. They can think about it year-round, but when momentum really starts picking up is January to June. That's when all of the student applications start hitting the database. January is when the potential students start showing for the upcoming school year. And it's best to get the host family application completed early so that the host family can pick out their student, get their placement secured in the school, and that's really the critical point. A lot of schools stop taking foreign exchange student applications before the new school year starts, or even in June of the prior school year. So it's really important to get started early. And then that also gives the host family and the student a chance to get to know each other, either via Skype, email, Facebook, which alleviates a lot of apprehension on both the student's part and the family's part, because you already pretty much know each other by the time you meet at the airport in real life.
How many foreign exchange students have you hosted, and what were some of your favorite experiences with each of them?
We have had 4 foreign exchange students stay with us for the full school year each. Our first one was Kathy from Augsburg, Germany, and she was our very first exchange student, so it was that initial what do you expect kind of thing, and that even though we've gotten to Skype and talk over Facebook and via email and everything, we kind of knew each other. We had our first face-to-face moment at the airport, and I will never forget the look on her face that after we brought her home, we gave her a tour of our house, brought her up, showed her her bedroom, and she turned around and looked at us, and the look on her face was absolute sheer happiness and joy. And she gave us this really incredibly warm hug and said thank you. And I wish I could share the image in my mind of what her face looked like, because it's forever imprinted in mine, just how happy she was, and to think that we actually contributed a little bit to that happiness was pretty incredible. Then after Kathy, we had Carla from Berlin, Germany. And with Carla, it was cooking. Oh my goodness, we did so much cooking together, and she taught me so much in the kitchen. It was just so much fun. Absolutely a blast doing all kinds of great things in the kitchen with Carla. And with Fabio, it was tubing and getting to go sledding and seeing his face with the snow. Just loved those moments with him being from Brazil and having never even been in cold weather before. Getting to experience snow for the first time with him was a lot like seeing snow for the first time myself. It was a lot of fun. And then with Julia from Ukraine, it was her dancing. Just family nights and playing games, and she was a very gifted, talented dancer. And to just her break out in some pretty cool moves just in the middle of nowhere just added so much joy and laughter to the house. So yeah, love each of them very, very much, as if they were our own kids, and love the fact that they all want to come back and visit. And we get to visit them. That's the cool part too, is when you have an exchange student, is now you have that open door to their country to go and visit someone that you care about very much in their home country. It opens up travel opportunities that you never thought you would have. You know, essentially you just have to pay for an airplane ticket and you've got a wonderful family to stay with and a free tour guide. And that long-lasting relationship. It's pretty amazing.
So, is it easy to contact their natural parents to discuss any questions or things that you should know about the child?
Generally, yes. You do have the parents' contact information. And that's certainly a relationship that you can develop. Usually the proper chain of communication is to go through the student and your local coordinator, and the local coordinator would reach to the organization, and the organization can reach to the natural family. But it's been my experience that sometimes I just develop relationships with the kids' parents. Just letting them know that the kids are okay. Maybe I'll post a picture on Facebook so they can see what their kid's doing, or something along those lines. But yeah, you can definitely develop a relationship with the exchange students' natural parents.
Yeah. We have a former Rosendahl exchange student here, Fabio from Brazil. Fabio, you were a traditional exchange student here for the school year of 2013 to 2014.
Yes, I attended Newfoundland Regional High School for a full school year when I was 16.
Fabio, do you get a say which host family you get, or what location in the U.S.?
Well, yes and no. It depends on the family that's interested in hosting the student. As Barbara already said, if it is a same-sex couple or a single parent, then the student and his or her natural family has the choice to accept or decline the host family. And as about location, there are certain fees that you can pay to choose from regions, states, and cities. But if you choose not to pay extra, then you go whatever the host family is.
So Fabio, what is the process for applying for the exchange like for you, and when does that process start?
The process is very complex and has a lot of steps to it. So the agencies recommend the students to start the process 6 to 8 months before the travel date. I came here in August and I started my process in December, if I'm not wrong, and it started off with a visit to the travel agency, where you just tell where you want to go, and the agents will talk to you about all the different locations and different kinds of host families and different kinds of programs, and then you just choose the program that fits you better. So once you decide which program you're going to go for, you take an English test to make sure you're going to be able to communicate in English well enough when you get here the first time. I actually had to retake the test because when I first started the process, my English wasn't so good, so I didn't pass the test. So I had to retake it to be able to come to be involved in the program. So once you pass the exam, the agency will give you your application, which is basically a paperwork that will tell the host families all information they can possibly get from you. And it tells everything you like to do, everything you like to eat, your habits, what you hope to do when you get in the country, and what are some of your expectations.
So Fabio, what's rewarding for the exchange student and those who will be around him or her?
So for the exchange student, it's obviously getting better at English and getting the opportunity to know a new culture and studying in a different school environment and living in a different family. And for the people who will be around him or her, it's also to learn a new culture, to maybe learn a new language as well. And the exchange students just helps people to open their minds to new horizons and to new possibilities, and I think that's a very important thing that exchange students do for the community and people around him or her.
What do you expect from a host family?
Well, I remember that when I was leaving Brazil to come here, I was a little bit scared because I was leaving my home country, I was leaving my family to come to a strange place. I didn't know anyone, so I think I kind of expected people to just help me deal with this new situation. So I think that's what most exchange students expect from their host families. I think they want someone to help them go through the adaptation and just support them deal with the new experiences. So yeah, all these students just expect to have a loving home with loving people and lots of help and support.
Do you have any favorite experiences you'd like to share?
Yes, I have lots of them. It's even hard to choose one, but one of my favorites is for my 17th birthday that Barb and Eric, they surprised me. Okay, I remember then when I first got here, I wanted to learn how to ride a horse. So Barb took me to lots of places in the area to try to find a teacher or instructor for me, and we couldn't find any. So for my 17th birthday, they took me to Castle in the Clouds, and there they have this cool trail that we can go with a horse, and they surprised me with that. That was awesome.
Do you have any advice for a host family from an exchange student's perspective to make the experience as positive as possible?
Yes, I think all host families have to make sure that they are willing to offer a loving home for the exchange students, and that they are confident in dealing with the unique characteristics of the students.
For any questions, please contact Barbara Rosendahl at barb.rosendahl@gmail.com or her home phone number 603-455-1368, or look her up on Facebook under Barbara Woodman Rosendahl.